everybody, and welcome to the 3rd Annual Hamilton Music Awards. Tonight, we are here to celebrate everything great about music in the Hammer.
For our viewers in Ontario and regions across Canada that aren't familiar with Hamilton's music scene, some of the artists that call Hamilton home include Teenage Head, Ian Thomas, Harrison Kennedy, The Forgotten Rebels, Danielle Launois, Jim Witter, Kathleen Edwards, Jackie Washington, of course, my co-host, Mr. Tom Wilson.
Nice. This city has some of the most amazing musicians that I've ever played with, and I've played with a lot of musicians. I'm really old. Some of those artists don't always get recognition that they deserve, and that's why we're here tonight, folks.
Yeah. And tonight's show is dedicated to Mark Severn.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't it great that we're honoring people that you see shopping at Fortino's in the dollar store in the mall? Way to go! Hey, I just want to say that Mark Severn was an integral part of the area music scene for decades as a gifted musician, a good person, and a great friend.
We lost Mark this year in a tragic car accident, but here's his story, and we look back on his life.
Mark and I met about 8 or 10 years ago in Cincinnati playing with Hotel California. I just remember at the gig, Mark, at the sound check, he had this amazing way of getting a siren sound out of his guitar that a lot of guitar players try to do, but nobody did it as well as Mark. And when we were doing sound check, there was a couple of police officers standing at the side of the stage. Mark just gave them a big wave and just got that siren sound and got a smile out of the cops. He was a great songwriter and a great singer. Some people found him intimidating because he was technically the best guitar player I've ever known, and probably most, if not all, the musicians he's worked with would say the same thing, that he could do impossible things that the rest of us would just laugh at because we couldn't even think of trying to do some of the stuff he could do.
I can remember, you know, on the road, when the gig had finished, maybe 1, and he'd be playing his guitar, you know, 1:30 till 7 in the morning, you know, like no amp or anything on, but just going all through these scales, just everything, just going, you know.
He did country western records. I know he made about 3 or 4 country western albums, and he sounded just like the best country western guitar player you ever heard. He did rockin' albums, he did blues albums, he did jazz albums, whatever was required, he was a master at that genre.
I've probably, you know, just in the studio alone, maybe have done 150 songs with him, recorded. And he'd always be lying on his back, like he'd be lying on the beach, and just playing guitar. And, you know, the bass player would be standing up, everyone would be standing up playing. There's Mark just kind of, just lying on the ground.
He'd always be tinkering with his guitar. We'd be in the studio, he'd be half naked, just maybe a pair of khaki shorts on or something. He'd be laying on the floor. He liked to record laying on the floor, and he'd be taking his guitar apart and rebuilding it.
Actually, Mark made this guitar. He made it as a tribute to Les Paul. This is a copy of a guitar that would be worth a lot of money, and he made it for himself. And for the past year, we've been trying to go and visit Les Paul in New York to get this guitar signed. A mutual friend of Mark's knows Les Paul, and so I played in New York Labor Day weekend, and I took this guitar with me, and I got it signed by Les Paul. People that, even if they only spent an afternoon with him, he left a mark on their lives. He's dearly missed by many people. You know, some, as they say, that knew him well, some that didn't know him well, but they knew that he was just a very special person.
Our next presenters play with Tom and Black in the Rodeo Kings. Please welcome Colin Linden and Stephen Fearing.
Hi there, everybody.
Hey, guys.
The nominees for Guitarist of the Year are Christopher Claus, Colin Cripps,
Yeah.
Aaron D'Alessio, Bill Majoro, Mark Severn,
And the winner is... You got it.
I was looking at the screen. Mark Severn.
Mark Severn.
It's been a long summer. This is Mark's sister, Carla. And I'm David. We'd like to thank Jean-Paul for all of this and making us a part of it. And this is for Mark.
When Mark was about 6 years old, or 8 years old, he started taking guitar lessons. And he practiced for about 3 hours a week, and then Mom and Dad said, well, if you're not going to play anymore, we're not getting you lessons, so Mark quit. And about 2 weeks later, he put that guitar strap around his neck and had that guitar there, and he never took it off from that moment on. And one of his favorite things to do was to walk up behind me while I was practicing piano and go, na 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 na. So Mark, this is for you. Na 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 na.